And thank you so much, all the presenters. This has been great. I think Sarah planned this to go right after the sexy sales tax talk. But as we witnessed last night, football is a universal language. Being from Atlanta, it's kind of in the water down there as well. I'm kind of commiserating with you Vikings fans because my Falcons lost as well. But what I want to talk to you is more, not so much about football, but about this parallel universe that's happening all around us among NFL teams. All throughout the season, we're probably hardly ever aware of it. It goes on right next to our teams. We barely look at it except on commercials, but it really happens a little bit further south from here in Dallas. It's a rite of passage. Every year, this huge migration happens where you have hundreds of people going to Dallas, Texas to try out for one of the most famous elite squads in the world, the famous Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Now, at AE, the annual meeting last year in Dallas, I had the opportunity to meet a number of these ladies who have really taken it upon themselves to be the very best of the best to make this squad. They really have, gone all out, as you can see here. But you might find it obvious that a guy is a fan of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, but that's really it. I really am a fan. Thanks in part to my wife, who turned me on to their reality TV show a couple seasons ago. And do not judge me, okay? It's awesome. But, I'm not looking at this lineup of women who are doing their thing, dancing, and really representing for their team. I see a group of people who have put in a lot of hard work, a lot of mental effort, a lot of physical effort, again, for barely no money at all. And I actually feel like I've gotten to know a lot of these girls personally because, chill out, I really have seen a lot of their weddings, their babies. I actually tweet with a lot of them. But this got me to thinking that trying out for the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders is actually a lot like a technology search for your association. Okay, now go with me here. When you're looking at a technology change, even if it's forced on you or you make that change yourself, you're looking at this sea of options. You really don't have any idea initially, who's going to be a good player, who's not going to be a good player, what's going to work out for you. So when that happens, you're going to make a list of requirements. Now, when you make this list of requirements, you hope that your ideal candidate will allow you to check off a number of these. But ultimately, you're going to get to the place where you're going to have to do some searching and digging on your own, and that's where you get into some unknowns. A lot of times, you're going to find that it's those unknowns, those got-yous, those things that you didn't know are going to come up to bite you. So, when you're going through and going through this process, you really want to use this selection process to make find deeper understandings and understanding abilities of these providers, learn what you don't know through vendors, ask questions. They'll be happy to talk to you typically. Ask your colleagues here at MSAE. But you really want to find out what's going on behind that pretty smile from that salesman. Now, a few things that you want to go through that are playing out in association offices across the country, some unknowns. Does this provider really understand your organization? Just because they're in the business and selling this technology doesn't mean they necessarily understand your business, your organization, and how it's going to fit you. Small staff associations, for example, they have a lot of different needs in a larger staff organization. They do the same things, but they do it a little bit differently. Budgets might be a little different, so you have to take those limitations into consideration as well. Another thought might be ease of use, not just for your members, but also for your staff. Does it take 11 steps to do what maybe used to take 3 or should only take 2? You really want to think about these things and ask questions as you're going through. Security is obviously a concern that you want to consider as well. Oftentimes that security issue stops with securing your data. Well, what about payment processing? All of us accept payments online through our sites. You want to make sure that that's compliant as well. Finally, you get to the implementation process, and you're trying to figure out, okay, how is this going to get from point A to point B? What if I have to call someone in the middle of my conference, in the middle of the night? Who's going to answer? Will they answer? That's even worse. But a good provider should be honest and upfront about their processes, about their capabilities, so that you can both avoid a late round cut in the process, something that no one wants to face. But ultimately, you're going to have a selection process that's going to be effective. You're going to select your winner. That's going to be announced. Everyone's going to cheer. Your staff is going to be excited. Your members will be excited as you roll this out. But I want you to always remember that, just because you've gotten all your pros and cons answered, it's really a team effort. At the end of the day, your vendors, your suppliers, they're all going to join together with your staff and your members to form a unified front to provide the solutions that are going to be important for your team. So the next time you're going through this process, remember, uncover the unknowns, ask questions, and you too can create a winning team for your association.